Yedidans have us in a chokehold, you know that?
Mr. President, what could you possibly mean?
Cut the tiny turds, Rune. We've been informed that you're going to be announcing your new mind readers this week. Was this an invention of Rune Enterprises? No, sounds like someone else's idea.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't think I know that you took this technology from us? The Yedidans shared those plans with us for the benefit of the people, not for Markus Rune. What'd you do, hack our infrastructure?
Mr. President, who are the Yedidans?
Don't Mr. President me. We both know that you did.
I've never even heard that a technology like this exists. How could I possibly respond to your accusations?
What I'm about to tell you is government secret. You got that? Congress has selected a committee to appoint a liaison between Earth and an alien species called the Yedidans.
My stars.
Now, I don't know who you paid off, Markus, but the committee selected you to take the lead on this project. Do you accept?
Of course.
I thought as much. No. This is a government project. You got that? We run the show. You're going to be in the meetings. You'll be the one communicating to the aliens. But you answer to me. Now, let's talk terms. The committee has agreed to relieve you of any taxation in regards to any revenue generated with this project. We feel that this is a generous deal. Also, we keep this secret until I decide to go public. Is that acceptable? Markus, do you agree to these terms?
I have a better offer. We can pay your taxes. You can have them. But I have two demands.
And what would those be?
This little story of yours that we stole the plans for the mind readers. You could keep that wee bit to yourself.
You know we would never agree to that, Markus. Come on.
And we'll keep your secret as well. Oh yeah. You've been planning to place mind readers all over the planet without letting the people know. That would destroy you, wouldn't it?
And number two?
Number two. Mr. Walter. This is my project. I control the communication. I take in the visitor. Oh, we'll keep you posted. That's no problem. As far as the public is concerned, this is a tag team. Do we have an understanding?
You are one vile creature, Markus.
So I've been told, Walter.
My name is Justin. For the last couple of months, I've been receiving mysterious messages from a man named Brian, who's claiming to be from the future. That future being 2319. He also claims to be a member of an agency that is able to travel back in time to undo crimes of the past. He has asked me to participate in a case involving a man named Markus Rune, who has committed a serious crime. There are so many unanswered questions as of yet. Who is Brian? What crime did Markus Rune commit? I don't fully believe that any of this is true, but I want to.
Welcome to 2319.
All right, Brian, looks like we're all set up.
Hello, Justin. I am pleased you were able to follow my directions to set up a connection. If you have any questions for me now, I do have a few minutes to answer.
Okay, I did bring some notes. Okay, one time you wrote that you worked for a secret group of agents. What does it mean that is secret?
It means simply that. We are a secret group. Anytime a person posts a nick about us, it is generally treated as fiction. Very few people know of our actual existence.
Do you and the other agents ever meet in person?
On occasion, when it is absolutely necessary, we will meet in person. We do attempt to keep a code of absolute disassociation among the members.
So you probably don't want to have any evidence that would tie your group together.
To answer that question would be a breach of the terms of this mission.
How many times have you personally traveled through time?
To answer that question would be a breach of the terms of this mission.
That was a little odd. You sound a little robotic, Brian. Is there any chance that you're actually a computer?
I am 100% flesh and bone. This is not my real voice. I am using a computer to generate my answers.
If you or the other moment guides were to make a mistake on an assignment, couldn't you just go back in time to correct the mistake?
That would be one possibility.
I noticed that in 2305, President Ramsey has already been in office for just over 10 years. Is that common for the UW? For example, here in the US, presidents can serve a maximum of 2 terms of 4 years.
It is quite common. The UW can be described as a meritocracy. If a man or woman has several accomplishments that is said to be good for the citizens, the Congress will continue to vote for the renewal of the presidential contract. Each UW district is represented by a group of district representatives that make up the Congress. Each office of oversight is granted by a Congress-designated committee that meets to appoint an officer. The president is an example of someone who is appointed by committee. His contract, which includes his term, is then negotiated by this committee. President Ramsey is still president in the year 2319 due to his remarkable career.
I guess we need some sort of spoiler alert there. Okay, so now this particular committee was assigned to appoint a liaison between Earth and Yedidan, and they chose Markus Rune. They actually chose Rune Enterprises, from what I'm reading here, to act as this liaison. And President Ramsey was assigned to actually negotiate the terms with Markus Rune. How was this received in the UW, this decision?
There were mixed responses. Obviously, the committee to appoint was made up of individuals that were quite enthused about this appointment. The president, however, was understandably shocked, as were most members of Congress.
Okay, so there's this dialogue that you sent me between Ramsey and Rune, and it says that it's secondhand in nature. It's a secondhand account, so it could be made up. But being that you included this in your file to me, I take it that you believe that it is valid?
To deny the authenticity of this dialogue would be quite difficult.
You're listening to the 2319 CE podcast. For more information, please visit 2319ce.com.
Welcome to this special edition of the Dan YYE Talk Show. I'm Dan YYE. Billions of people like yourself are tuned into this special syndicated video and audio transmission of the first contact of Yedida and Planet Earth, the public, and Rune Enterprises, of course. So you better get comfy, grab your pop fizzies, and enjoy this moment. There's been a lot of buildup, a ton of buzzing all over the place. This is going to be a sweet ride, fellas. You're going to see it. You're only going to see it here, man. This is the Dan YYE talk show. So settle in, friends. Now, if you're listening in now, we have on our screens a live footage of a sort of a conference center / theater. I'm gonna stick with theater right now. It's got chairs, camera views all over the place, and we see a few Yedidan specialists from the government talking to each other, probably working things out. We're expecting to see President Ramsey and his special service protectors arriving soon as well, and of course, Markus Rune himself and his staff. They're going to be showing up. Now, we have some of the names of the scientists that for several years have been communicating with the species of the Yedidans. We have Dr. Bernard Hulbert, very important man. He seems to have been kind of the lead scientist. And also, there's Dr. Bella Fay. She's the famous head of research and science at Rune Enterprises. She did study under Dr. Hulbert for her entire stay at university, so she is well versed in Yedidan studies. Dr. Fay and Hulbert have an intense interest in. Okay, so now we see some special service agents entering the room, which means the president is nearby. It means he's on his way, folks. This is going to be interesting to see who comes first and comes last. Most would assume that the president would be the last to arrive here, but from what some are suggesting, this is Markus Rune's show, so we're gonna see. We shall see. Now, let's see. Well, here we have President Ramsey. President Ramsey has arrived, and with his staff with him, we see Dr. Hulbert and his people, Dr. Simpson, Dr. Shensu, Dr. Sarah Silverstein. Here we go. We get the government there. We get the UW representatives right there. President Ramsey. Now, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but I'm looking at Ramsey and he's looking very serious here. Perhaps he's not used to sitting and waiting. So maybe a little bit irritated here. Now, if you're not looking at this, if you're just listening in, I'm going to describe this theater situation here. There's a large screen that takes up the wall, and it's black. It's not displaying anything at the moment. All of the chairs in the room are aimed in the direction of the screen. So I'm assuming that this is a screen that the Yedidans are going to appear on. Right on that screen right there. Now, I'm going to just pause for a second here, okay? I just want to say that this special edition of the Dan YYE talk show is brought to you by Rune Enterprises. They didn't want you to be bothered by any sponsors. They just want you to enjoy this event. Now, I wasn't prompted to say any of this further, but let's just give them their spot, man. I mean, they deserve it. Rune Enterprises are the makers of that piece of glass that we all hold in our hands that allow us to associate with friends and family and allow us to watch specialized syndicated events like the one you're watching or listening to. They also are famously known for the clock system that we use for pretty much everything. So thank you, Rune Enterprises, for this awesome special event. Now, if you're listening in, at every seat, facing this screen, there's rune portals, right? These glass screens. So everybody's got them. Okay, now we see the staff of Rune Enterprises begin to enter here. We've got Dr. Faye with her assistant Sonia Sterling. I see Dr. Salos with Dr. Faye there. And then Professor SSE. And then we got others. We got a group of people now coming in. And there he is. There's Markus Rune, everybody. There's Markus Rune. Okay, this thing is about to get started. Hold on to your butts, babies. This is gonna get good here. Now, I will say this now, and I'm not a gossiper, but boy, President Ramsey hasn't smiled once. He's not even shaking hands with Markus Rune. He's just sitting down, looking over there. He's definitely a little bit steamed about something, and the press is gonna go nuts with this. They're just gonna go nuts, berserk. Oh boy.
All right, everybody, is this microphone on? All right, good. Everybody can hear me okay? All right. Now, if everybody could find your seats, we're going to start talking soon. The Yedidans are going to be dialing us up. All right. Now, as we discussed, we're going to start off. I'll have President Ramsey come up here and begin the discussion, and he will make the introductions, and then he will invite me up to start our conversation. I'd like to ask that everybody allow myself to do the speaking, at least in this meeting. If you have any input, feel free to send me a nick, and I will try to include them in my responses.
Okay. The screen in the theater has changed to a sort of foggy environment, and there's some sort of shadowy shapes in the background. I'm going to assume that these are living creatures because they're moving around. Now one of them is approaching seemingly to address the meeting. Well, this is exciting. We're actually seeing a Yedidan right now, right in front of our faces. Oh, this is a strange looking creature. Now, last month, Markus Rune was right here in this stage here, and he said the Yedidans have a salamander type of skin, and I would agree totally. I would totally agree. The salamander, that's right on. I noticed there's two openings on the top of his face that I'm thinking are eyes, but they look closed. There's no eyeballs, just slits, and there's tentacles hanging below. I wonder if that's sort of a mouth or something that they can eat with. And he's wearing some sort of robe on his head, so he's covered up. This is fascinating. Oh, now we hear some sound. Are you guys getting this? It appears to be emitting from the Yedidans. So there's probably going to be some translation coming through. I know you probably want to keep listening to me, but I'm just gonna back off here and let this sucker happen.
Greetings. I see that you have a much larger group this time. It is pleasing to my eyes. I am enjoying this. We are enjoying this.
Hello again. Yes, as we discussed in our last meeting, we agreed to select a special group that will be working with you from now on. I'd like to make introductions, if that is acceptable to you.
That would be most kind of you, President Ramsey. It is a very satisfying occasion when we are able to meet new friends.
We feel the same way. I'd like to introduce to you now the Chief of the Liaison Committee, Markus Rune.
Is this the same Markus Rune that you have expressed misgivings about?
No, we don't feel any sort of misgivings towards Markus Rune. He will be a most enjoyable friend for your group.
I am most certainly pleased to be of your acquaintance, Markus Rune. You are very pleasing to our sight.
Thank you, my newfound friend. Could I ask, do you have a name?
As we have explained in the past, it is not a concept we are familiar with in our planet to assign an identifying word or number to an individual. We are familiar with this culture on your planet, but we have chosen to not adapt this feature locally.
Ah, well, that is perfectly all right by myself. I have with me Dr. Halbert of the UW, who I know you are quite fond of. Also with me Dr. Bellafay to my left here. She is of my staff, and she's going to be included in our future meetings as well.
It is very pleasing to see a female on our screens. From our studies, we have found that female humans suffer greatly when birthing a child. Has Dr. Fay experienced this?
No, Dr. Fay has not yet experienced this.
That is most satisfying. We wish for very little suffering in our lifetime. Our next item on the agenda. Has this task been achieved?
Well, as I informed you in our message, we will be postponing this task for the time being. We at Rune Enterprises value the privacy of people on Earth, and we will work to find another way to build trust and confidence in this friendship.
This is regrettable and causes us to be skeptical for the first time. We will wait to hear of your other way to build trust and confidence in this friendship. As you know, we already have a courageous traveler that will be arriving on Earth. We wish the traveler no suffering in this adventure.
As you have learned, we humans are quite limited in our abilities when compared to your own. We are going to try the best to ensure a safe and successful arrival for the traveler in ways that will be suitable to what we humans value, as well as you. We appreciate the courage and adventurous spirit of the traveler. We humans value these qualities highly. We also understand that there's risk associated in adventure and courage.
We are quite different. Risk is not something we accept. We look forward to our future meetings. Goodbye.
Okay, well, looks like that conversation is now over. The screen went black once again within the theater, and then our feed was cut. So, boy, I can't help but think we're going to get some pretty good ratings from this show. This was outstanding, just phenomenal. We make of it what you will, though. I mean, I thought Marcus was in really good form today. I thought he represented the human race really well. There was some sort of agreement that was in place that it appears that Marcus backed out on, with intentions of preserving our human values. So it's going to be interesting if we hear about that, what that was all about. All in all, I thought this was certainly a groundbreaking achievement, and just think about it. All of you were witness to this event, and I have a feeling you're going to remember this for the rest of your life, so just let that sink in, brother. Let that sink in. That you're going to just, this moment right here, I was right there with you, walking you along with it. This was a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and let it sink in. This has been a special edition of the Dan YYE Talk Show. I have been your host, Dan YYE. See you later, and have a sweet night.